violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, in school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Fight earlier this morning led to somebody being shot at a gas station. Huntsville police say officers were called to the Circle K gas station at the corner of Holmes Avenue and Jordan Lane.
Obviously you can't get gas in the Metro Atlanta area. You know, there's a song called Who Wants Smoke With Me, made by an artist named Nardo Wick, and he says something like, he said, "I'm not ever lacking. I pump gas with my gun out." And he's basically insinuating that whenever he's pumping gas, he's very alert and he knows his surroundings and he has a weapon on him in case a super gremlin wants to run up on him and try him. Okay, so I think it's important for you guys to know that if they're on this type of time, then you guys may need to be too. When you're going pumping gas, you know, if you're in a legal state and you've got a open carry or concealed carry, whatever, make sure that you are prepared, because we saw how that I think it was the sheriff or an undercover cop in Los Angeles got ambushed by those super gremlins, and he was fighting for his life in the hospital. These things happen more often than not. I mean, there's plenty of examples on this channel, honestly, if you just want to go back and check them out. But it's sad that you can't even go to the gas station without a super gremlin shooting up the whole vicinity.
The victim was taken to a local hospital in stable condition. At this time, no suspects are in custody, but we'll continue to keep you updated with the latest on air and online.
6 years after a grandmother and her two grandchildren were killed by a man running from police, there's been an arrest. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in College Park, and Tom, the family had no idea this arrest was coming.
So guys, it's pretty sad when you're excited about an arrest of a person who killed your loved ones, but obviously you want closure, so I know how important that is to the family. But just to get to that point, and they said that this guy killed the people because he was fleeing from the police. And we talked about resisting arrest, and I showed you guys the video of the mother and son who got pulled over by the police officers and then they bucked. We all know how the Dante Wright situation came about. It's very dangerous to flee from the police, okay? Very dangerous. You want to fight in court and not on the streets.
Had no idea, Linda. The Partridge family says police were able to match the DNA of a man they arrested to the DNA that was found inside a stolen SUV that crashed into Dorothy Wright and her two grandkids at this intersection as they were headed to church. The family says when they got the news, they were super excited.
Wow. So they ran the DNA off the stolen vehicle and boom. Match, man. So it's great that this family got closure, but it's sad that these super gremlins are really out here doing what they do and wreaking havoc. It's like you fleeing from the police, you hit people, you're going down, bruh. The fact that he hadn't been caught until now is crazy.
as they were headed to church. The family says when they got the news, they were super excited.
On the way to church, bro. Come on. On the way to church.
I was like ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, really?
That was Joy Partridge's reaction after learning the man suspected of causing the crash that killed her mother and her 2 kids has been captured after 6 long years.
Wow. Her mother and 2 kids. That is insane. I mean, look at them. Walking to church. Doing everything right. Doing everything right. Well, these super gremlins don't let up.
The good part about it is that we have a name and we have a person.
College Park police told me that person is DeAndre Tigner. They say he is the driver who left.
DeAndre. I'm sorry I keep stopping it, but it's just like, look at this crash. How fast was he going? Was he going Henry Ruggs speed in a Suburban?
Led them on a chase into Atlanta at South Gordon and Rogers Avenue in January 2016. Officers say he crashed a stolen Suburban into a car driven by 75-year-old Dorothy Wright. She was on the way to church with her 2 grandkids, 12-year-old Cameron and 6-year-old Layla.
Oh, I thought they was like walking on the sidewalk. So they was in the car and he just hit them. Man. And this happened in 2016. He's just now getting caught. It's 2022, y'all. They done went on about their lives. Lost the grandmother and the grandbabies.
They all died.
And we still tortured every day by his carelessness.
The driver took off and hadn't been seen since, until now.
It's more than carelessness. I wish that some of these people, man, and I know that they're grieving, and I know they probably already gone through the stages, and you know, they say forgiveness is the final step, but you know, I'm not going to speak for them and say that they forgive them, but I really wish that sometimes our brothers and sisters would dig into the realities of these situations and really, you know, unveil what's really going on under the bridge where the super gremlins reside.
The family got word just before Christmas, police arrested Tigner.
And I said, Joy, this is the best Christmas present ever.
The family says they were told Tigner was in another high-speed chase. Officers captured him and checked his DNA.
Typical. Doing the same thing, because why? He didn't get caught. The fact that he walked away from that crash is insane. And he's still out here doing it. Doesn't care. Doesn't care. He was caught on another high-speed chase. And you know that wasn't the first one that he's done within the last 5-6 years. I keep forgetting we're in 2022. This happened in 2016.
And they matched the DNA with the DNA that was in the truck that he stole.
The family says it's sad someone suspected of killing their family in a chase was involved in another chase.
I'm just glad that he's off the streets.
And the family says that police told them, Tigner told officers that he had been haunted by this incident the entire 6 years he was on the run. Police would not confirm how they were able to capture Tigner. He faces numerous charges.
Wait, what? Run that back.
As it's sad, someone suspected of killing their family in a chase was involved in another chase.
I'm just glad that he's off the streets.
And the family says that police told them, Tigner told officers that he had been haunted by this incident the entire 6 years he was on the run. Police would not confirm how they were able to capture.
So this guy said that he was haunted by this situation, but was caught in another high-speed chase. It couldn't have been that haunting. I mean, come on.
Capture Tigner. He faces numerous charges, including felony murder and hit and run. We're live in Southwest Atlanta. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
First, Atlanta police are searching for the person who used a box cutter to attack a restaurant worker in Little Five Points. Good evening and thanks for joining us on Fox 5 News at 10. I'm Alex Whitler. That attack sent a worker to the hospital. Neighbors say it all started when a man was asked to leave. Tonight, business leaders in the neighborhood hope police will step up patrols in the area. Fox 5's Rob DiRienzo is in Little Five Points with more.
So here's what neighbors say happened. The guy was sitting at one of these tables outside of the tavern when an employee came up and said, "Hey, you can't sit here unless you buy something." The employee then walked off, and that's when neighbors say the guy came at him with a box cutter.
And it was a super gremlin, obviously, because we know that if you tell a super gremlin to leave somewhere and you're not ready to shoot or fend for anything at that moment, they gonna come back. Or once you turn your back, they gonna hop on you. You know, usually they start shooting, but sounds like it was like a homeless guy in the A. And Little Five Points is like downtown Atlanta. So homeless guy in the A, and he's, you know, sitting there because he just wanted to sit down probably. But starts terrorizing the owner of the store.
When the employee turned around to leave, he was attacked from behind.
Atlanta police say the man attacked the restaurant worker in the patio area of the corner tavern.
The worker, sorry, I meant worker, not owner.
Tavern in Little Five Points.
We had an individual who was sitting on the patio of a business who was not a customer of that business. So one of the employees requested that he leave the premise.
That's when the employee was attacked, sending him to the hospital just after dark on Wednesday night.
And slick, that was wrong. They sent that employee. They had to know that something was gonna pop off. That's why they sent him.
Patrons were shocked to hear about the whole ordeal.
Over here, that's crazy to think, because I feel like I didn't think it was that like crazy of a place.
It's a very disturbing situation, and also not something that we typically see here in Little Five.
Not something you typically see here. Bruh. Are these people's eyes open? I don't get it.
Lauren Welsh, who runs the Little Five Points Alliance, says the incident was a shock for business leaders. While there hasn't been a noticeable uptick in violent crime in the neighborhood, she says the fact that APD is stretched so thin means there are fewer patrols.
One of the biggest challenges is that APD is pretty short-staffed. We know that it's been a priority for a long time to bring a higher level of officers to the Atlanta Police Department. I know Mayor Dickens is very focused on this right now.
Y'all heard her. She said Andre gonna take it away. They booted Keisha Lance Bottoms. Got another brother to come in. And sounds like Andre might be pro-police. I don't know, but we'll see.
Now I reached out to Atlanta police to see if we could get an update on whether or not they were able to catch up with the suspect. They say the investigation is active. In Little Five Points, Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
Rob, thank you.
Is mourning the loss of an 8-year-old after an apparent drive-by shooting in Augusta over the weekend. As friends and family came together yesterday to remember Arbery Anthony, they just wanted to know why this happened. Our Will Volk live for us in the studio this morning. And Will, what details do we know so far about what led up to this shooting?
Man, 8-year-old girl killed in a drive-by shooting in Augusta. They want to know why it happened. Honestly, you really don't have to have a reason for these super gremlins to slide through and spin on the block, as they call it. It doesn't have to be a reason. And if you ask them, like, they'll say it is what it is.
Well, Brianna, details are still limited as investigators try to figure out how and why this happened. For her family, it's impossible to understand why an 8-year-old would lose her life like this. Family and friends gathered for a balloon release yesterday. For her family, this shows just how much Arbery impacted people around her. They say she was a happy child and she smiled all the time. Her family says they could do nothing but love her, and she had so much life ahead of her. Now they plead with whoever is responsible to turn themselves in.
That ain't finna happen. This stuff is, I mean, it's been wicked. It's been disgusting. You can't make it like. That's why you got to push this channel, guys, because I really want to speak my mind, but I can't speak my mind because I got to catch the algorithm. Once I catch the algorithm, I'll really stop caring and really unleash. But, bro, come on, man. This happens all the time. All the time. Just go back into my catalog all the time.
As they deal with the agony of this.
I'm heartbroken. I'm devastated. I feel like somebody took something out of me that I can't get back. I saw my niece for the last time. Who would have knew?
Count On begins tonight with family and friends coming together to mourn the loss of Arbery Anthony. The 8-year-old was shot and killed Saturday during an apparent drive-by shooting on 3rd Avenue in Augusta. The family now speaks out for the person responsible to come forward. News Channel 6's Ashley Jones has that story.
Someone last night took my grandbaby from me.
They took my heart. So
she was my heart. And she was like my child.
That was my baby right there. That was my baby.
Arbery Anthony was someone's daughter, granddaughter, niece, sister, friend, and most importantly, the heart of this community.
She loved Tik Tok, she loved dancing, she loved running. She anything. She loved outdoors.
She was so happy. She was a happy child. A loving child.
Wow, man. And we know how it works in the hood. We know how it works in the community. Somebody in that crowd know what happened. Somebody in that crowd know what happened.
She loved to do stuff, loved to go places.
A child full of life, but at just 8 years old, that life was cut short. Family members tell News Channel 6 that she was the victim of a drive-by shooting.
She was out here, she was playing like she always does. She's always out here playing. She's always out here playing. She wanted to pet the horses. She saw horses, and she just got murdered senselessly.
Her father there to witness it all.
I got on the ground, and first thing when I got up, I yelled for her, and she didn't respond back, and I picked her up, and I rushed her to the hospital. That's it.
Bro, what were they targeting? Like, who were they shooting at that they would just disregard this little girl?
Richmond County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to the shooting Saturday evening at the Anthony home on 3rd Avenue. They later reported Arbery died at the hospital. Now the community is coming forward honoring the child with a balloon release. It's all to support a now broken family. But many say
I'm sick of these balloons, bro.
Her death was not in vain. Instead, it raises awareness to a bigger issue in this community.
I've been staying out here in the South Side all my life, 2101 2nd Avenue. Have seen a lot of killings over the years, and it's getting worse.
Richmond County.
Well, at least she's speaking the truth, honey. At least she's speaking the truth. Somebody gotta say it. The only people that it can really come from and be palatable is the black woman. So we need more black women to speak up, because obviously brothers ain't really got no voice. Like, you have these freedom fighters out here and whatnot, and you know, they doing all that they can. They're doing important work in the streets and, you know, trying to get kids off the street, but their impact is minimal, especially in a town where there are a lot of killings. their impact is minimal when it comes to what sisters could do if they organized. So we've got to get some more like-minded sisters who have maybe personally experienced some of this stuff so that they can, course correct what's going on. Possibly, that ideally, I'm just speaking in, wishful thinking.
Sheriff Richard Roundtree will be holding a press conference on Monday, but so far no suspects have been arrested in connection with Aubrey's death.
Whoever you are, please turn yourself in. You took a child. You feel like something that took hold of me. You took something so precious.
Whoever you are, you need to stand up and take this blame and fault.
Please speak up.
Please speak up. Please speak up.
Man. And I hate to watch them beg the perpetrator to tell on himself, to snitch on himself, when we know that no snitching is part of the damn 10 commandments of the black community. So I hate to see them beg and I just wish that they would understand that these dudes, this is a highlight reel for them. We made the news, bro. We did it. Like, they put it in the songs. They put it in the music. Put you on Fox 5. Put you on Channel 3. It's horrible, man. I mean, I'm just giving you the inside of the mind of a super gremlin.
That's my baby.
It's a child. My baby had to leave the world. My birthday was 2 days ago.
In Augusta, I'm Ashley Jones, WJBF News Channel 6.
Now, that family is looking for donations to cover funeral costs. We have a link for you to donate on our website at WJBF.
And here today as living proof that a little kid from Adamsville could dare to dream to be the mayor and grow up to fulfill the dream by becoming the 61st mayor of Atlanta.
A decades-long dream realized for Mayor Andre Dickens. As a young kid growing up in the city of Atlanta, he told his mother he wanted to be mayor when he grew up. And today, he cheerfully did just that, taking the oath of office at his alma mater, Georgia Tech. His mother by his side holding the Bible for his swearing in. The ceremony held outdoors at a bitter cold and blustery Bobby Dodd Stadium. U.S. Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock and Congresswoman Nikema Williams, just a couple of notable names, all bundled up in the crowd.
So we know that Andre Dickens has become elected. He's been elected mayor of Atlanta. And he's replacing Keisha Lance Bottoms. We all know how that turned out. So I do have hopes that maybe he will be able to overcome some of the things that she was doing and the mistakes that she had made. So I'm going to give him a shot, honestly. But we'll see if he is going to put his foot down on the biggest issue that's plaguing Atlanta.
Mayor Dickens expressing gratitude for this position and saying he is ready to tackle some of the city's biggest issues, including crime. Joe Hinkie joining us now live from Bobby Dodd Stadium with more on today's inauguration. Joe?
Sheba and Jennifer, you mentioned a few of the folks that were in attendance today. Also there were the city's 3 most recent mayors, Shirley Franklin, Kasim Reed, and as of this afternoon, now former mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. As Andre Dickens was sworn in as the city's 61st mayor, today's inauguration ceremony represented not only change in the mayor's office, but across much of the city. As Mayor Andre Dickens celebrated and waved to his friends, family, and closest supporters, he pledged how he plans to lead the city of Atlanta.
The first 100 days of my administration will be laser focused on reducing crime with a particular emphasis on balancing our safety and justice.
Dickens.
Okay. First 100 days, clock is ticking. If he's able to pull this off, and he really tells it how it is about these super gremlins, then I'll be impressed. And maybe he can set a trend where other leaders, especially African American leaders, can follow. But he's going to have to be honest about who are the perpetrators are of the majority of these crimes in Atlanta.
He's vowed to initiate a plan he calls Safe Streets, hire 250 APD officers by the end of the year, train all new and current officers on conflict resolution, de-escalation, and community policing, and increase streetlights and security cameras citywide.
I'm going to ensure that we have a clean and honest and efficient city government.
Dickens promised to see the city is physically cleaned up and roads, sidewalks, sewers, and parks are maintained.
We need to focus on economic inclusion.
And Dickens discussed the need for equity and his plan to create a city Department of Labor.
A full workforce with great paying jobs will help us overcome another major issue.
Man, I mean, he sounds good. It sounds good. It really does. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him. I was a little skeptical because you know when brothers get control of the ship, a lot of times holes start getting plunged, it starts sinking. All right? And then a lot of the promises that they made to get in office doesn't pan out, but he talks a good game. Let's see what he does. Let's see if the numbers pan out. If he reduces crime like he says he does, man, I might move to the city. You know what I mean? So, look, brother, we praying for you. We rooting for you. And we hope that you do what you got to do. And don't be distracted by these people out here who want you to be soft on crime and hire soft legislators and all this stuff. Hey, we need you laser focused, like you said, brother.
In Atlanta, the lack of affordable housing.
During today's ceremony, not only did Dickens become the 61st mayor of Atlanta, but the city council was officially overhauled.
I, and state your name.
City council members were sworn in, with incumbents filling only 7 of the 15 council seats. And during his speech, Dickens did not specifically name Buckhead, but he made his position on the Buckhead city movement clear. He said Atlanta's best future is as a unified city, not separate cities. We'll send it back to you in studio.
All right, Joe Hinkey reporting. Thank you so much.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.